You can call me Hagen. I couldn't see his whole face, but I saw his bright, sincere smile, and the wrinkles he wore showed he spent most of his life smiling. This place has been seen by few and remembered by fewer. Only true warriors are even summoned to this place. Me? A warrior? I mean, yeah, I was a Marine, but I never saw combat. I was stuck behind a desk, a computer. Again, he sensed what I was thinking, and tried to reassure me. You have been chosen to become a hero during the dark times to come. It sounded awesome, but this is just a dream, right? I was starting to think that the old man was a mind reader, because he replied with an almost smug comment. Trust me, Cody, it's not a dream. One day soon you will find out that a great evil threatens not only your own world, but all worlds. And while you are not the only one that will fight, you are the chosen one who will overcome the darkness that threatens us all.
The ruin are coming.
How will I fight it? I have no special powers, and I'm not the strongest. The old man looked at me, not thinking, but giving me a second too to calm down so I could understand his next few words. The power is in your heart. Heart. It sounded so foreign to me, for some reason. He said it and pronounced it differently. He said it quickly and it sounded like heart. Your heart is more like your life source than your pumping organ. And you have a very strong heart, my young friend. And with the proper training and guidance, you can become a strong warrior.
Now what's around you?
I figured thinking about it too much would just make my head hurt. So I replied with
blame this on me too, huh?
I replied with a smirk. So when do we begin? He wasted no time, which I like. Follow me. He started walking in the center of the island. He carried himself with what I would describe as a stout swag. Just from walking, you could tell this man knew how to fight, but also with grace, so you knew he was agile, even in his old age. We came to an ancient-looking ruin with a wooden staff stuck in it. The tip had 8 blades on the end, like a mace and a spear point. Just by looking at it, it was like he called me. I felt an awesome power, but it was like there's a lost part of me. His name is Arcanite. In disbelief, I stated, his name? Yes, his name. He is very much alive and hungry for battle, but he will only choose one worthy to wield him. I would gladly wield this ancient beast, but I already have old Shamar here. He unsheathed a black blade, white-hilted scimitar, which surprisingly I didn't notice earlier. Impatiently, as usual, I said, like a little kid wanting his Christmas present, "How do I know if I'm worthy?" He grinned ear to ear, and I even felt his spirits rise. You test yourself in battle with him as a witness. I felt kind of scared and intimidated, but reassured myself. And I guess the only person around here to fight is you. He grew the same big devilish grin he wore before. Don't worry, I'll take it easy on you. Well, I don't see how it's fair considering you have an ancient powerful sword, and I have 2 fists and a hard head. Alright, I'll even things up a bit then. He sheathed Shamar. I could almost make out a disappointed growl, and looked around until he found a medium-sized stick, almost the size of a sword. Now find a stick about the size of the staff, and we will test your abilities. After several minutes of being very picky, I finally found a sturdy light stick that fit pretty good into my hands. Alright, I'm ready. As I spoke, I swung the staff around and bounced a little bit to prepare myself. It begins. No sooner after begins left his lips did he almost instantly appear in front of me, hoping to finish me off quick. He swung for my head. Somehow I reacted fast enough to awkwardly block, and I attempted to strike back, but my swing was almost effortlessly blocked aside. Whoom! A jab caught me in the gut, leaving me gasping for air. Crack! Another blow got me in the back of the head. I wanted to cry like a little girl, but not in front of the old badass. And definitely not in front of Arcanite. I held it in so that only me and God knew how much it hurt. It was like a sixth sense. I felt him rear back to finish me, but I cut him off with a swift cross swing with the shin. It must have surprised us both because there was an awkward pause in the combat. I brought the staff down hard like I wanted to crack his skull, but he simply blocked and shoved it into the sand. By the look of it, he probably would have cracked his skull, but I had no time to admire my might. Wham, wham, wham! 3 swift blows to the torso, but I anticipated his haymaker and jumped aside. I swung the staff blindly around my back and knew instantly I hit my mark because of the oof I heard. Without pause, I whirled around and dealt a blunt strike to the back of his head. He fell to his hands and knees, and I brought the staff up to finish him, only to receive a leg sweep followed up by a mouthful of sand. We both stood up at the same time. It was then I noticed that I was breathing like I just ran a marathon, and Hagen sounded like he went for a jog. This man was definitely battle conditioned. Getting tired yet? He said it more like a taunt than an actual question. Never. He laughed and then charged. Man, is he fast. But I actually saw him this time. The battle must have warmed me up and had my adrenaline flowing. He cocked his elbow up mid-sprint, bringing his... Oh, God, what is this?
Oh, God.
His hand to his...
Don't know my words.
To his mouth, like he was preparing an accurate strike. I already knew his game, though. Slightly raising my guard, I baited him with an open gut. He took the bait. He jabbed for my center, and I brought the staff down and stomped on the makeshift sword, breaking it. Then I shoved the staff into his face, and followed up with a fierce upward strike. Running at the top of him, I jammed the end of the staff into his throat, just hard enough to make him squirm. He coughed and strained to say, "You win." I dropped the staff and helped him up. "You know, considering you're new at this, you're pretty good," he admitted while rubbing his back. I massaged my head. "Well, you're pretty good too, considering you're ancient." We both laughed. I looked over at Arcanite, and it seemed to be glowing, not necessarily showing any light, but I could tell he was excited. "I think he likes you. I'd almost forgot the old man was there. Why don't you go say hello?" He wore the same grin as always. I walked up to the stone, nervous, scared, anxious, excited, and every emotion in between. Every step I take, my heart beats faster and faster, getting harder with every thump. Finally, I embraced the beast, and all I see is a white, blinding light. I felt energy jolt around me and power surge into my very being, and a loud roar and voice in my head says, "You are worthy, Master." Then everything went black, and I woke up in my bed covered in sweat. Was it a dream? I went back to sleep. I woke up expecting to remember another crazy dream, but nothing. I sat up, checked my phone, had a text from my friend Ethan. He wanted to hang out today. Well, looks like the only one needs saving is me, for boredom.